inside Mike Delivers from his wife's, cat's, his own living room. Here's your host, Mike Biseglia.
That's right, this is Mike Delivers, episode number 124. And I'm your host, Mike Biseglia. And I'm coming to you from my wife's kitchen in Essex County in Bloomfield, New Jersey. I feel it's important to stress the county as well. I guess when you're listening to this, there will be an election decided. Maybe not. I don't know. This comes out on a Thursday. We're recording this on a Sunday. Who the hell knows? You can find this podcast where all major pods are found. Spotify, Stitcher, Apple. You know the gimmick. Rate it. Leave a comment. It's greatly appreciated and goes a long way in helping this podcast succeed. So thank you for your time doing that. Okay, October is over. Health Food Month is over. We're moving on. It's November. So November, this is an interesting month, Jess. People think of November. I think Thanksgiving is probably the most famous holiday in November, right?
Yes.
You would agree with that?
Yeah, more than Veterans Day.
Okay. Thank you to all our veterans. But I will say in the spirit of the month, I don't think I want to do turkey, right? We're not going to do a turkey month. But what we will do is a big part of Thanksgiving. People love side dishes, okay? So for the month of November, we're going to try side dishes from different places across our area. But to make it a little more interesting, instead of, say, having a side dish from one restaurant, we're going to have it from two different places, have a little battle royale, and talk about it. So for today, Jess, you and I will be talking about I guess a staple in the side dish industry for November, for Thanksgiving, the mashed potato. We'll be trying the mashed potato from two different places. Naturally, when you think mashed potatoes, these are the two places you think about. Applebee's and Pizzeria Uno. So, we tried mashed potatoes from these two places. If you want to see me trying them, and I will get you to do a taste test at one point, because it will help our views, head over to Mike Delivers on social media. You can check it out and you can see it. But, side dish month is here. We're kicking it off with mashed potatoes. And away we go. I will say this, Jess. When you go to a restaurant and order just a side of mashed potatoes, it's odd. It's an odd experience for everybody involved. Me, the person that's taking the order, and then the person that has to say the time. He's like, yeah, it'll be 5-10 minutes.
So do you think you're the first person in history, because I like to think of these things, that ordered just a side of mashed potatoes from Pizzeria Uno? The first person.
I don't know if I'm the only person to ever order just a side of mashed from Pizzeria Uno ever. But I will say I do believe I'm the first person to ever order it from Applebee's and then drive to Pizzeria Uno and get a side of mashed potatoes. I do believe I'm the first person to ever do that. I'm pretty
like in
confident.
the history of the world?
Yeah, that's a great question. Do you think, and I'll ask the audience this, do you think I'm the first person to ever do that? Order a side dish of mashed potatoes from Applebee's? I will say I'm the first person ever in America to go to the Applebee's in Clifton and then go to the Uno Pizzeria in Clifton and get mashed potatoes. I'm pretty positive on that. I'll take my chances. As far as the whole country, I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe. I like to play that game of like, I'm the first person to, be doing this while this happened and, like X, Y, and Z. I like to always think of those.
I mean, I will say I'm the first Uber Eats driver that has a podcast about being an Uber Eats driver. I will say I'm the first person to ever do that. That I feel pretty confident about.
Yeah, I feel like somebody would have called you out by this point, otherwise.
Yes. But it was, I'll say this. The whole experience of it was a little different from each place. So, I went to Applebee's today, outdoor dining, and I was like, I've been a good dad. And you were like, Mike, you can get a couple minutes away to get a beer and watch the sports. So I went to Applebee's, did the outdoor dining, and the waitress was like, "What would you like?" I go, "I'll do a Blue Moon and some mashed potatoes to go," and that's it.
Now, how much were the mashed potatoes? Because the receipt doesn't say how much it was.
$3 to $5.
Okay, I'm just for comparison.
The whole so good point, because I had to. So when I initially went in there, I said, "Hey, Applebee's, can I get a beer at the bar and then walk outside?" And they were like, "No, you got to order." So I had a waitress, so I had to tip her. So the whole bill was like $10. So the potatoes, I want to say, were like $4 to $5 ish.
Okay, so they were in the same ballpark.
And the beer was, they were definitely in the same ballpark. But I had to tip her because I couldn't not tip. My whole gimmick is about how I want tips as an Uber Eats driver. Who am I to say I can't? But I did say I'll have an order of a Blue Moon and an order of side of mashed potatoes to go. I guess it would be weirder if I got it there. To go doesn't make it as weird, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're taking it home for like your family or something. Let me
say this: if you told me, let's go to 2018, I just left Gio and Jones, and I was doing the morning shows for Taz and the Moose on CBS Sports Radio, and you go, Mike, in 2 years from now, you're gonna go to a bar, sit outside. So I don't know.
In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain, and at this point, we don't know about the pandemic. We don't even know about my Uber Eats podcast. You're going to go, Mike, you're going to go to an Applebee's. You're going to go to an Applebee's, sit in the pouring rain, an outside portion of the restaurant. You're going to get a beer and some mashed potatoes to go. I would have said, Jess, what the fuck just happened to my life? Or maybe things are great.
It's like that SNL skit we saw from last week with the fortune teller, and where they're like, trying to.
That's a great bit. Oh, we got to watch our SNL later.
Oh yeah, we should watch SNL tonight. Yes, we do. We do enjoy doing that.
That's our Sunday night gimmick.
Which is also kind of funny because, I was thinking about this the other day when it was Halloween, and we had Ryan out there as a little Subway sandwich, and I'm like, oh my god. If you told me this time last year, I'd be standing outside in a mask with a tiny Subway sandwich baby, I would have been like, I'm sorry, what?
Well, I think there is something to all of that, and just how we do this I do this personally, but if I'm like, look back the last 3 years, and you're like, look at the change that's been made.
Oh, good God, you and your time. Comes up on every podcast you have.
I'm a big time guy. I'm like, there's been a lot of change made. But if you look ahead, it doesn't feel that way. But this one, I'm like, I'm doing Uber. We've got a podcast about being Uber Eats. We've got a Patreon page about doing Uber Eats. And here we are. It's just, I don't know. It's just crazy. Shout out to Applebee's, though, for doing a really nice job on outside socially distanced eating.
I know.
They did a good job.
I'm so hopeful.
To give them credit.
I'm so hopeful next weekend the weather's going to be nice. Maybe we can all go out and have a socially distanced football day or a drink, just a drink or something.
Yeah, it was fun. Now, Uno, I just got the potatoes and left.
That is so weird.
That phone call was funny. So after I got in the car from Applebee's, and I'm in the car, and the Uno's 5 to 10 minutes away. I'm like, I called. They're like, yes, you like to place your order? I'm like, yes. I'd like to do an order to go. They're like, what would you like? I was like, a side of mashed potatoes, and that's it. They're like, and that's it. It's like, that's all you want? I was like, yes. He's like, 5 to 10 minutes. Crazy.
Which then makes you wonder, do they just have a vat of mashed potatoes?
Yes.
Even if they did, why would it take 5 to 10 minutes to put them to scoop them into a container?
Yes.
That's an interesting thought. Are they? They're probably just re-stirring it so it looks like it's fresh.
That is a good question because especially at a place like Pizzeria Uno,
which I've never been to.
In general,
no, I've never been. I've never had
deep dish
pizza.
Well, I'm just saying in general, so a few things. I'll be completely honest. I peed when I was at Pizzeria Uno.
Okay, I was like, where's this going?
So they had this one thing in there I could not believe. So I walked past a couple of pizza, mask on, the whole thing. But I was curious.
Did they have outdoor dining or just indoor?
They had outdoor dining with tents, but the rain was so bad, nobody's like, I need Chicago-style pizza that bad. I'm going to sit in the rain.
Today was super gross.
But they did have it, I guess, in the future.
Okay.
So I walked past 2 tables. One table, the pizza looked awful. But it didn't look like deep dish pizza. It looked like they got regular pizza at Pizzeria Uno. Which I'm just like, what the fuck? The second table I passed, it was a kid, and it was a make-your-own pizza.
Okay.
So this kid had dough, sauce, and raw cheese.
What?
That's all he had. And he was making the pizza.
And then they go cook it?
I don't know.
Oh my god, in COVID times, this sounds like the grossest things to do.
Maybe he just eats it on the table.
Oh my god.
I have no idea.
That's insane. Yeah,
right?
Okay, they have Chicago thin crust pizza. I had to look that up.
So, why would you get thin crust pizza at a Pizzeria Uno in New Jersey?
Here's another...
These are the kind of people I don't want to be friends with.
Okay, here's another question. There's a Blaze Pizza in the same goddamn parking lot.
Not there.
There isn't?
No.
I thought that was the same one.
Nope. No Blaze Pizza.
Oh, I thought it was. I was like, man, if you want to make your own pizza...
No, that part, they have a Chipotle, some place called Boom. I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, I think it's like Korean or something?
No, it's like a sports bar.
Oh, is it? I thought it was like
Panera,
ramen.
And a Panera bread.
Oh, I thought there was a Blaze in that.
No, the ramen place went out before it even went in.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
I know where your brain's at, but
okay.
But that's not correct.
I was like, boom, it's ramen.
boom, 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 boom. But like getting regular pizza, it looked bad. You know what it looked like? Not this pizza was bad. This pizza was actually really good. It looked like the Whole Foods pizza I made for my mom when she came over to look at our baby.
Look at our baby? Watch our baby.
Whatever you want to call it. Take care of the damn guy. It looked like that pizza, which was really good. But if I'm going out for dinner, I don't want to have a pizza that was $2.50 in the freezer.
Okay, it was when you heard this, a huge frozen pizza sale at Whole Foods. It's 50% off every frozen pizza.
Yes.
That was good for $2.50.
It was great.
Which is insane because we did eat $36 worth of pizza last night.
But Jess, why would you, and we'll get to that, why would you go to Pizzeria Uno and get non-Chicago pizza? That doesn't make sense to me.
In New Jersey, no fucking clue.
Right? That's
not.
weird.
It genuinely does not make sense. Also, making your own pizza in these times, I don't like that.
But I mean, I guess if it's not being heated and he's just eating it on the table,
it was raw dough.
See, I don't.
It has to go back in the oven, Mike.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a raw dough.
It was like a Boboli pizza.
Yeah, exactly. It was like.
Then why didn't you go to the grocery store?
Because I guess it's a gimmick for your kid.
Okay, interesting.
Like I mean, the more we have a kid,
the more you're like, let's find things to entertain them with.
So I could understand if you were like, you and I want to go out, have a nice night, have a nice Caesar salad, split for two, get a nice Chicago style pizza, and then Ryan can make his own. I get that.
Okay,
I get that. So I don't want to judge the mom based on the pizza that our kid was eating. The dough was I think the dough was cooked.
Okay, the way
you're looking at the kids' meal?
I'm just looking it up. Yeah,
look at the kids' meal.
The way that you were explaining it, I was thinking
that's a good point.
Yeah, make your own pizza. There it is. You got a pizza crust, cheese, tomato sauce, pepperoni, apron, and all of your creativity. Actually, that does sound great. Okay. So
does it say any details about what they do with it?
No. And also the dough does look raw, but it's probably no. It's raw and it looks like you make it and then they take it in and cook it. See?
Which must be the most annoying thing in the world for those people.
100%. And I hope they upsell the hell out of them. I like that they have to specify 10 years and younger, so an adult is not like, I'd like to make my own. There's also a make your own sundae.
John, you know that we could do this at home.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just love making my pizza. That's a fair point.
Yeah, so... Okay, so that is a thing. I've never heard of that at a restaurant before.
I haven't either.
That's interesting.
But I saw that caught my eye. Those were the two things that caught my eye. The pizza looked terrible. The little kid was making pizza.
Let's be honest. The sauce in the marketing picture looks disgusting.
Well, you and I figured out that we hate sauces from
cheap places.
Which is so funny because the Whole Foods 365 sauce was
great.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was so soft. It was like
guys,
delicious.
You can step it up a little.
My
bit.
mom hates salt, and she liked the fucking thing. It's like she's gonna hate this. There's salt in it.
I know,
and she liked it.
She liked the Detroit style pizza we had from.
Maybe she likes salt in pizza. I'm learning,
Maybe,
but not salt
yeah.
on like a piece of fish.
Yeah, because that is salty pizza. It's not the company or the restaurant. It's the fact that the cheese that you put on Detroit style pizza is very salty.
Right. The cheese itself is salty.
Yeah.
So anyway, that caught my eye in there. So you have no experience.
Zero.
Anyway, this podcast is about mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Side dish month continues. Let's go into Uno. Your Uno experience is?
I want to say I've been there one time at the waterfront in Pittsburgh. Maybe if I've ever been there, it was just one time, which I need to figure out if there even is a place. But that is an interesting.
Could have gone out of business.
It's an interesting place though because you and I both have a lot of life memories.
Oh, that in Pittsburgh.
Yes, in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
Which is weird because we did not have any other real, there's nothing else that's really similar from our childhoods other than like our weird Pittsburgh stuff. And I lived in the South Hills, and your family was in a different area, which in Pittsburgh, you don't cross the rivers. So, not for any other reason other than I think you're too lazy to cross the river.
And Gus Farrar talked about that on a previous episode as
he
as,
did, yeah.
Uber Eats drivers, like, nobody wants to go across the bridges.
Well, and that's part of it is, so technically the waterfront was on my side of the river, but very, very close to your grandparents.
Yeah.
Like, proximity-wise, probably like 3 miles or something like that. But this was way further for me, but it was on our side of the river, and there were no bridges involved. So that's kind of it's kind of like that crux of things.
Yes.
So, yeah, I want to say I was there at some point, but that was it. But I will say that I did not have Chicago-style pizza. Now, this is a really interesting conversation in regards to today that no one else will think is interesting but you and I. But I was off dairy completely until I was probably like 16 because it really bothered my stomach.
Right.
So I probably went there and had not pizza. I literally started eating pizza again in college. And like kind of put my toe back into the water. And now I love pizza, which is such a weird thing.
Well, the whole Uno's... So, like, Uno's has a whole menu outside of the pizza.
So I'm sure I ordered something off of that.
Which is just fascinating to me, too, because obviously they promote themselves as a place where you want to get, Chicago-style deep dish pizza. But, like, if you're going to Pizzeria Uno and getting the soul, like, it's just...
Like, I feel like that's what I would have gotten, to be
But, I
honest.
mean, it's just kind of weird. Not that it might be good.
Yep. There it
There's
is.
soul?
Yep. No. Water. Oh. It's in the waterfront in Pittsburgh.
Okay. But they have to have other options for people that want to get something that's not a pizza, even though I'm sure, like, I don't know, whatever the percentage is, 65 to 70% of the clientele are getting their pizzas. They got to make sure they have something else available.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and this is the thing that's sad, is that I probably have to go dairy-free for Ryan's diet.
Yeah.
And I'm mourning the loss of all the dairy I eat every single day.
Well, I'm trying to push you onto the Chinese food diet. No dairy. We're going to eat like kings.
We might end up having to go that route. Because I eat...
I've never been a huge dairy... You know me, I like cheese on pizza, but I've never really been I'm not a big cheese... milky person to begin with.
My diet's like 50% dairy, so this is going to be a real challenge for me over here.
Well, I'm going to train you. I'm going to train you. You're going to wake up and have the basmati rice and chicken tandoori with me.
I do not. Okay, gross.
Well, you don't have to have that, but there's milk supplement, right? Like almond milk isn't dairy, right?
Yeah, no almond. Well, I eat a ton of yogurt and a ton of cheese, so I'm gonna have to buy some like vegan cheeses. Trust me when I say I do not want to do this, but I like that kid, so we're gonna have.
I'm definitely gonna manipulate you to get Chinese food through this.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna use this as an excuse to get you to get Chinese food.
I don't like Chinese food. Can we have Japanese food?
No, Chinese.
I like Japanese. I like Korean.
But I love. Well, let's get Korean. I know a good Korean spot. We can do that.
Okay, that's fine.
I think you will like Chinese.
I really like Vietnamese. Yeah.
I just think you've had bad Chinese food. You don't give it.
No,
a
I've
chance.
not had bad Chinese food. I just don't like the way it makes me feel. I always feel fat and salty afterwards.
Well, I mean,
that's what it makes you feel like, right?
Not when I'm in town. No, we're gonna do no MSG. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good.
That MSG stuff's bullshit. That's all.
Just do it for the mic. Do it for Mikey B. Do you love me?
Yes.
So side dishes. Let's get into some side dishes. Mashed potatoes. Your thought? We should probably talk mashed potatoes.
Well, who in my family listens to this is a question I have.
I don't know. Who listens to? You tell me. Who does?
Who on my Thanksgiving going side listens to this?
Okay, so your mom could listen to this. Your dad, your brother. We haven't had Thanksgiving with them.
Yeah.
Not many. I think you're in the clear, unless the podcast. grows.
Okay, so let me just politically. When you started,
Are you running for mashed potato office?
I'm running for.
I can't give a stance on mashed potatoes because I need the vote on the creamy and the garlic.
No, don't
side.
worry.
What is this?
We're all
This
voting
is-
on the same.
It's a mashed potato. Who cares? You sound like such a politician. 4 more years of garlic. Who cares? Whatever.
I think when you started making the mashed potatoes for our family, that was a good decision.
I don't
I'm
even
gonna say.
I don't think my mashed potatoes are that good. I think I had one good year, and it's.
And you're riding on your
Yes.
you're riding
Yes,
the coattails.
I think it's changed people's vision and views on the potato mashed. Or, okay, now I know where you're going with this. I figured out what you meant. Now I got it. I got it now.
Okay.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
I guess so.
I'm gonna say it. If this is this might piss off your family, but I'm willing to take that chance.
All right, let's do it.
Your Aunt Shay makes bad mashed potatoes. I said it.
Yeah,
I said it.
They're not
I
great.
said it.
They're
I said
not
it.
great.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Aunt Shay. You know I love you. You and I get along great. We have fun. But that's where you were going, right?
Yes. That was where I was going.
I'll take the bull.
That's right. She's happy with me, so I emailed her something funny today.
She doesn't listen.
Okay.
And if it gets back to her, it's one more download. Download the pod check.
Yeah, so my mom at one point was like, Mike, how are your mashed potato skills? We got to bring you in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, mine aren't that good, but maybe when the bar is so low. The bar is on the ground. That helped my mashed potatoes.
Yes, because my mom and I make all the side dishes usually.
Yeah.
Except for the stuffing. The sausage stuffing, which is a whole discussion.
Excellent.
Good lord.
Excellent.
It is,
Yeah.
There's pans and special bread and sausage and it's
but
the whole thing.
I love that. I love it.
It's amazing. It's the best part of Thanksgiving. But
Outside of turkey, when done right.
Okay. I do not agree with that. But I would just say that mashed potatoes was like lacking in my family. And then when you started doing Thanksgiving with us, we basically just were like, Mike, you're a potato guy. This is your thing. You're making the mashed potatoes every year. And they've been much better ever since.
Yes.
So
Okay. But see, like, there's also things that make making the mash difficult for me. You're like, okay, you're making the mashed potatoes. You have to use almond milk and no butter. And you're like, well, then what the fuck? Like, that, I mean, seriously.
No.
That makes it harder to make good mashed potatoes.
Because a lot of my family is dairy-free, which means I probably should be,
I mean, a
too.
good mashed potato has cream and butter. It's just going to have a little more smooth integrity to it.
No,
Or, like, toothiness.
for your family, who made them?
Growing up, well, I guess my mom. There was one time where she fucked it up so bad that I had to go to Boston Market and buy mashed potatoes.
I think they're challenging.
Which were good. It's a lot of work to make mashed potatoes.
Yes, it is. It is.
I might do, like, YouTube videos for hours for this coming Thanksgiving.
No, we've. I feel like you've settled on one particular one, but then we rewatch it every year, whatever it is.
The problem is, it's like, who makes mashed potatoes outside of Thanksgiving?
Did you? Okay, that's a good question.
Like, from your house?
Okay, so did you guys ever do that?
No.
Okay, so my mom would
Maybe once or twice. Not that I can remember.
My mom would do this fairly frequently, where we would have like a mini Thanksgiving, and I'm talking like maybe a couple times a month, where she would roast
a couple times a month.
Yep. So she would roast a chicken.
Yeah.
It was micro Thanksgiving. We'd have Hungry Jack mashed potatoes, which, by the way, are pretty bomb. Stovetop stuffing, and cranberry sauce that was shaped like the can. And then we'd have rotisserie chicken instead of turkey.
So, okay.
So, did you ever have cranberry sauce in the can?
Probably.
That was a big Geisler side of the family thing.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
Well, if you haven't noticed, because you did a Levine Thanksgiving,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we did that.
No.
Not to get too pretentious here, but you saw that Thanksgiving. What did you make of it?
It was very gourmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stuffing was excellent. It was a cornbread sausage stuffing.
Yes. I thought it was great. I love cornbread stuffing.
Oh, that was excellent.
If we're Thanksgiving with my family, it's more of it's my Italian side of the family. It's a very Italian Thanksgiving. Like, everything's like Italian sausage stuffing. We have like Italian red wine. Like, everything is more focused on that. Yours was more like elegantly gourmet.
Yeah.
Now, my dad's side of the family is a little more Wonder Bread. Although we've never really done Thanksgiving with them.
I have not.
I have not.
I mean, yeah. I mean, since we've known each other, I think we've gone to their places, houses
We go after everybody ate.
And that was like when all your cousins were little, and it was like little people running around like, oh my God, there's a piece of pumpkin pie. It was different, but yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't eat there.
So, I think my dad goes to my mom's side solely for the food, because it's, like, really good.
Yeah.
But, so you never had, like, just mashed potatoes on a Thursday night at your parents' house?
Maybe. A few times, but not enough to make a difference. And you talk about the Thanksgiving side of things. I never had Cool Whip my whole life until I met you.
I never had Cool Whip any time, but on Thanksgiving.
We always made a homemade
whipped cream. Which I do respect that they always do that. That shit falls really fast, but they do a nice job of, like, keeping it
whipped.
Whipped cream is so challenging, because if you go 1 second over, it's butter.
Yeah.
You go 1 second under, it's a bowl of cream.
Yeah.
It's a very challenging thing, but it is so good. It is wonderful.
I'll tell you my experience with Cool Whip. And actually, it's related to Pittsburgh. Maybe you don't know this story. See, I always get a little kick out of it.
Wait, I thought your first introduction to Cool Whip was with my family.
I lied.
Okay.
Kind of. So I always like doing this podcast because I do think that you and I doing this, it brings out stories that I haven't told you and you haven't told me. Not because you and I don't talk to each other, but like why?
Once there was Instagram and Twitter, it was like, why do we talk?
Stop it, Jess. Stop it, Jess. You know what I mean? Like, there's just things that wouldn't come up. We do this podcast. We're doing an episode about mashed potato wars. This is not our normal conversation, but the fact that we're talking about mashed potatoes is forcing this.
No,
to come
I get it, Mike. I get it.
Sorry, I'm getting like really deep.
I'm like, I understand that.
When my grandpa, I would always go see my grandpa on Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh. And then my grandma passed away. A couple years later, my grandpa started dating other women. Which, you say, it's like, whatever. But he dated a woman.
You have to wonder what that dating is like. Because my grandma also dated somebody.
Yeah, no, I know. Just use protection, guy. Use protection.
I don't think that was happening.
No, use protection. So anyway, my grandpa started dating
Catholic.
Well, we aren't. My grandpa started dating another woman. And her name was Ruthie. And she was very different than my grandma. But, fuck it. I get it, Jules. You're 85. Do what you gotta do, bro. So, she would be like... She introduced us to Cool Whip. And we were like, what the fuck this is? But I'll never forget a memory from her. And my grandpa goes... he called her your aunt. He called her Aunt Ruthie. You don't know this story.
No, that's weird.
Aunt Ruthie baked us a cherry pie. And I was like, hello, alarm. I was like, hello, Aunt Ruthie baked us a cherry pie. So we would go to visit my grandpa in the summers. It was a whole thing. My cousins and I would go there to see him because my grandma wasn't there. It was a cool way to interact with my grandpa. But anyway, he's dating this woman, and she goes, your Aunt Ruthie baked a cherry pie for all of us. So we eat this pie. This pie's fine. And then I open up his garbage disposal, and I see this box.
Garbage disposal?
The garbage.
Garbage can.
The garbage can.
I was
next to the garbage.
like, wow, you are better at plumbing than I thought.
I open up the garbage, and I'm throwing out whatever I was throwing up. Napkins, whatever. And I look in the garbage, and I'm like, what is this? There's a cherry pie box.
Oh my god.
My grandpa had lied about my new grandma making cherry pie for us.
She just bought it?
But she store-bought the fucking cherry pie. So when Ruthie made this cherry pie, it was store-bought. So to this day, did she make this is me, I'm going to say this out loud, and the audience is going to go, you're a fucking moron.
Wait, how does that have to do with Cool Whip?
Because she would add Cool Whip to everything.
Okay, because you did not put that in there at all. I thought you were gonna say you opened the garbage and there was 10 containers of empty Cool Whip. All she did was live on Cool Whip.
No. But she made this, she said that she made this cherry pie. Then we looked in the garbage and there was a cherry pie from Marie Callender in the garbage.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was from like Giant Eagle.
So to this day, she tell my grandpa to do it. Did my grandpa do it to make us like her? I don't know.
That is very interesting.
My grandpa, who's been dead for, I'm 37, 15, 16 years. I don't know. I'd love to ask him.
That's really interesting.
Right?
Now,
but she always used Cool Whip on her desserts. And my point I'm trying to make full circle is, as a very homemade family with a grandma that didn't do that, it was weird seeing your grandpa date a woman that had Cool Whip. Now, looking back on it, who gives a flying fuck? That's the stupidest thing ever to be judgmental on. But as a little kid, you were, you know?
No, I don't. Trust me. I totally understand that.
Now I'm like, who cares?
No, it's because you just like you.
It's my grandpa and my grandma.
You
It's like
project the entire personality
but now
on
I'm
that.
like, that's not fair, Ruth.
My grandmother, she made the ugliest ass pies, but they were so good. And they were like, if you looked at one of her pies, there was no doubt that thing was not store bought. Like, it was that ugly, but it was that good. We should do pie as a side,
But you hate pie.
but I think it would be interesting
Okay.
to try it.
Okay. I like the dessert idea. That's
Yeah,
a
just-
smart angle.
So my family only ever had pumpkin pie. No, your family, I've had apple pie and pumpkin pie. Do we have anything else other than that? No, they did
Pumpkin.
They did a Dutch apple pie, which I really liked, which is like the crumblies on top and not like the.
I thought
Your Aunt Janet's pie.
our Thanksgiving in Rhode Island was
lovely.
excellent. It was a lot of fun.
I was like, where did we spend the night? We went to a hotel. That's where we spent the night. Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah,
That was a fun Thanksgiving.
that was super fun. We're not.
I gotta be honest. I love Thanksgiving.
It's my favorite holiday.
It's one of my
sure.
It's just so
What
much
do you
fun.
like more than that? Yom Kippur?
Yom Kippur.
I'm just kidding.
You weren't kidding.
No, I was,
More than Thanksgiving, there's more. I love Passover. I like Passover.
well, and I give you
Not as much as Thanksgiving, but I do.
I give you carte blanche every year. You can do whatever you want for Passover, and then your lazy ass does nothing.
Well, with Ryan, we're going to be doing matzah kids. We're going to make him a little matzah man.
All right, I am fine with this. I've made you matzah pizza before.
You should be fine with it.
I'd
It's a good
like
thing to be fine with.
No, I'd like to do more celebrations. You're so lazy about it that it
Yeah,
makes
I
it
got lazy with my Jew.
I'm not Jewish, so it makes it challenging for me to really bring it home. So
We'll bring it back for the little dude.
all right.
I just look at him I'm like, that's a cute little Jew.
That's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little guy.
Is it blue eyes?
They're looking blue today.
I saw brown. I saw a little brown.
Today I saw blue. I took a picture.
I saw
of
brown.
It. I took a picture of it. All right.
I miss him.
Well, he's sleeping. He needs to get up soon. So, we should.
This
get him
podcast
awake.
is about side dishes, mashed potatoes. You want to get into the mash then?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Those are blue eyes. Come on.
You know who he looks like to me? Mark Summers.
Okay.
Let's take the physical challenge. Okay.
Did you go to a taping of that?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I did. It was awesome.
Was it?
Okay.
Was it in Florida?
No, it had to have been local. And by local, I mean tri-state area.
Oh, I thought they filmed in Orlando.
I should try to get Mark Summers on the podcast.
Oh yeah, you've talked
I had a conversation with Mark Summers when I was looking for part-time work. I think I still have his email. Dun, dun, dun.
He'd be good.
He'd be fun.
Yeah.
He was interesting. He talked.
Well, then it's a good podcast guest.
He talked. It's I'll say this, then we'll get into these potatoes. It's interviewing somebody is a anyway. It's a challenge to make sure you balance everything. It's not as easy as it sounds.
I can see that.
I'm like, all right, Mark, you're coming on to talk about mashed potatoes. We're gonna do it for 45 minutes. This is you gotta figure out other shit to talk about.
Well, I think it happens pretty naturally.
Are they garlic?
So that's part of what we tried. So they were not identical mashed potatoes. So
no, they were not.
So Applebee's were garlic mashed potatoes, and Uno's were Red Bliss mashed potatoes. But they both were mashed potatoes. They both had skin on them. They both looked really similar.
Yes,
Did you think?
Yeah, well, we put out the video, and I did a blind food taste test.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see them beforehand when I tried them and gave my test score, which I think helped. But as far as how they looked...
you're so neurotic.
Totally.
You go back and forth, well, maybe I don't like this. Every single blind taste test we've ever done, which is numerous at this point, as soon as you take the blindfold off, you kind of change your mind 100%. And this is
all the time.
This is no camera on. This is just you and I talking. You're like, I don't know, maybe I made the wrong decision.
Every time, I've done this a bunch with all the food I've tried. It's definitely polluted my mind with how I want to score everything. It totally has.
No, that's why I like doing the blind taste test. And I mean,
no, I do too.
So, my PhD is in pharmacology, and that's one of the biggest things that we talk about, in doing drug trials, is having a double blind. So, the person administering something doesn't know what it is. Right. And the person receiving it doesn't know what it is. So there's no way for them to be like, hey, how you feeling with that drug? It's they don't know either.
No, the double blind is key. Totally key. Totally key. Which we did with this. If you go to head on over to all our social medias, Mike Delivers Pod, I try them out. And it makes a difference. I mean, if you were to see the potato mashed, I do think it makes a difference. I do. I do believe that.
Although I would say they looked really similar. So I took a fork of each, which you can see on there, and I put it on our dishes that we eat off of normally, and they're white dishes. So the Applebee's one looked more yellow.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of potatoes it is in the Applebee's one. Yes. But the other one says it's Red Bliss. And Red Bliss is just a super white potato.
You brought this up at the beginning of the episode. And I think this is something that's just so interesting in the regards of the mashed potato. Are they making a vat of mashed potatoes? And then they're like, okay, we're probably going to sell 20 to 30 entrees. This is the amount of mashed potatoes we're going to get. We might have to throw some of the potato out at the end of the night, but can you please make these? Is somebody making mashed potatoes at Applebee's?
Or
is somebody making mashed potatoes at Uno's? That, to me, is the centerpiece of the interest right here.
Well, here's
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's
the pizzas I get. They're making the pizzas. They're making the sizzling steak fajitas at Applebee's that I have to get. Nothing's better. But mashed potatoes, where are they coming from?
Well, here's another question. Could it be just a frozen thing from corporate that they reheat? I mean, it could be.
Yeah, it could be. Well, you know what? That's a very good point, Jess. Because you and I have used Gobble.
Yes. Well,
and we have
consistently for
And Gobble, for people that aren't listening, I reached out to your marketing part. Gobble, for people that aren't listening, is a meal kit you put together. You make salmon with rice and vegetable, or whatever it is. And when you get your mashed potatoes or you get your rice, it's in a pouch. And you just put it in an oven.
They're both par cooked. So, yeah, you just got to... No, you microwave them. Yeah.
And they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you think they're just in a pouch?
Well, okay. So, this is something
Oh, my God.
Hold on. This is something I heard, and I don't know if it's true. And I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this. And I'm going to talk about what I find, aside from seeing friends and family on a regular basis, is the greatest loss of COVID. To me, it is the Whole Food salad bar. It's like family, friends, then the Whole Food salad bar comes right after that. Because I eat the Whole Food salad bar real frequently for work. I love it so much. It is so delicious. Yeah. But nothing is prepared on site. Did you know that? It's all shipped from corporate.
Did not.
Nothing is made on site.
Wow.
Yes, everything is like, they might heat it up or whatever.
Right, of course.
So I do wonder if that's the situation.
I think you're right.
But I don't know. I have a thought, but we need to talk about the actual potatoes for me to give that.
I think you're right. I don't think this is like a local place being like...
Smash, smash, smash.
No, there's not somebody in the back being like...
With their potato masher?
I'm the potato guy at Applebee's. What do you do for a living? I mash potatoes at Applebee's. No shot. No offense.
So, well...
I mean...
Let's talk...
I think you're right. I think it's pre-bagged.
Okay.
It has to be. There's no
one
shot.
felt pre-bagged to me, one didn't, so...
Okay, let's get into the potatoes.
All right, let's get into
Pizzeria Uno, side dish battle, and then Applebee's. Okay, what felt pre-bagged?
What do you think did? Did either?
I asked you. I don't want the pressure. What do you think felt pre-bagged?
No, because you're going to say whatever I say, because we've done this before.
I know, you're so convincing.
No, I'm not convincing at all. You're easily swayed. That's the issue.
Jess, I gotta be honest. It's hard to give an opinion on this. Because, I'll just say this. Doesn't matter. The score will be revealed. I thought the Applebee's potatoes were better. But they had, a tang to them. So maybe the Unos felt more homemade. Just didn't have enough flavor that came out, which we could add. So, from your mind, I'll say that the Applebee's were bagged. Unos were more fresh.
Yes. So, we've talked about this from doing the Patreon ones where we do a chain versus a local. The chain one is always sweeter, saltier, fattier, and that that's what makes America like chain restaurants.
Yeah.
And I felt like Applebee's today was, so I had a micro bite earlier, and then another bite, because I was going to go down the Peloton, and I was like, I don't want to have garlic mashed potatoes, and then I did anyway, so it's fine. It was just right there, just feeling it. I felt like the Applebee's ones were really smooth, but really salty.
Okay.
And creamy. You're right. There was a dairy tang, which is probably the last dairy that I'm going to have for a very, very long time, to it. And so I looked up some copycat recipes, and they all just had heavy cream and roasted garlic in it. There was nothing some of these things are bizarre.
It does make you think about, from a business perspective, if you're running one of these places, okay, we need 80 pouches of the mashed potatoes today for Uno. Just, putting that together, how many people... Okay, let me ask you this, Jess.
All right.
How many people today in in Essex County, New Jersey, within that Uno, got mashed potatoes?
Well, here's the thing. If they're frozen, you just pop them out one at a time.
I didn't ask you that. How many people you think got what we got today?
10. 15.
Okay. So, how many should they have available?
I don't know. Well,
it's fascinating.
I do think that, to me, the Unos seemed much more homemade. Because they had, potato chunks in it. So, the Applebee's one was, smooth as hell. It was, really smooth. Even though it had skins in it.
I need to get you to do the blind.
All right.
I do think, it's nothing against you, but I do think closing your eyes, me putting it in your mouth, will impact. I do think.
I mean, that's a soundbite right there.
I can tell you from me doing it, that not looking at it or knowing what I'm trying has made a difference.
Okay.
It just has.
All right, if I'm prepared.
Because this keeps happening, but I had the Applebee's ones, and then I had the Uno ones, and at first I liked the Applebee's more. I'll just say that. And then, after trying and seeing, my mind switched.
Oh God.
but that's what I'm saying. Like that I think you need to try it that way to make a decision.
No,
on your
definitely
mind.
do it. But I do think it's the whole. So the whole Coke and Pepsi thing. If you do like a Coke and Pepsi challenge, Pepsi wins like more than usual because it's sweeter than Coke, and with one sip, that's more palatable to you. But very few people like Pepsi more than Coke. I feel like
Coke's definitely the more popular of the two.
So I think there's something to that for sure. But it was closer than I thought, and I like that both of them had skins in it. I do have to say that.
That was nice.
I like.
That was very nice.
I do have to say because I'm not a big mashed potatoes person. I'm never gonna order. I'm never gonna order that as my side dish. Gimmick. But if there's a good smashed potato from like a steakhouse or something, I do like that.
Yes.
So.
I love that excuse. If it's smashed from a nice restaurant, like, but if it's mashed
from a shitty restaurant, yeah,
I'm not into it. I'm a smash girl. So if you put an S before an M, you're into S&M.
No, a smashed potato is just.
I know. I'm being dumb.
It's easier. It's easier to make, too.
All right, let's score these bad boys.
Right,
okay, so moving forward on the Mike Delivers podcast, we're just going to do taste test, not the other categories. It felt as if we were just doing it to do it, and honestly, at this point, we've got a kid. Everything's going to be cold as balls, and not that my balls are cold, and, everything looks the same.
That's good, though, for, like, fertility.
So,
you want cold balls.
Okay, my balls are cold on the chair. So, taste. Two potatoes to judge. Applebee's, Pizzeria Uno. Jessica, let's start with Pizzeria Uno mashed potatoes. Taste, from everything we've said, I've tried them like 6 different...
He's not going to eat dinner, he just ate mashed potatoes. Oh my God, you keep moving this table. Good Lord.
I'm going to go with a 7 for Pizzeria Uno.
Okay.
They were good. A little grainy, not enough salt. Texture was a little off, but not bad. I would say if I had these for Thanksgiving dinner, I'd go, yo, Aunt Mildred, keep up the potatoes.
Should I do...
Just Uno.
I am going to give it... I was going to give it a 7 as well. So that makes me sound like I'm copying you. But I felt like they were pretty homemade. Okay. I do agree they did not have enough salt. But then I wonder, is it because the other ones were really salty?
That's
my
point.
Question, is I don't genuinely know that. They didn't have garlic like the other ones, but they were really tasty. They were... definitely chunkier. If there's one homemade one, it's that one.
Yes.
This is like when I would make mashed potatoes, and then I'd be the entire time we were eating Thanksgiving, I'm mad at myself about how chunky they are because I take my Thanksgiving performance very seriously. From the pie to the stuffing, like I am very stressed out about like I want everything to be perfect for Thanksgiving. I'd be like, these are a little chunky, but they felt very homemade.
Yes.
So
okay.
That's my feelings.
All right, let's go now to Applebee's mashed potatoes. I like doing it blind. It was just fun to see the difference. When I tried it, definitely better. More flavor. But like when I have done the other reviews, which you can check out on Patreon, there's a chemical that was there. And that chemical got me. I'm going to go with an 8. Much better. There was something there. There was a chemical salt. And it got me. It got me. Give it an 8.
So this is the question I wanted to ask you about Cool Whip, and then I forgot. And we got into like Aunt Ruthie, and we got all confused.
Right.
Do you ever have Ready Whip?
No.
Where you like open like. Yeah.
No.
What? Oh my God. We have to do Whippets on the Patreon or something. So
this damn Patreon has turned into you like the Mike Delivers podcast. Do you want to see what happens when they get fucked up? Go to Mike Delivers Patreon for $4 a month. You can see what it's like to see Two established human beings with a kid get fucked up. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, just to try some Ready Whip.
Ready Whip.
So Ready
just
Whip is like very, okay, if you put it in your mouth, which I've done before, it's very fluffy.
Yeah.
And like it comes out of nowhere. It's like very airy and fluffy.
Right.
That's how those mashed potatoes felt to me. They felt very, very fluffy and like artificially thickened. I don't know how you would do that. But by the same token, they tasted fantastic.
Yeah.
And they were really salty. I do feel like I would be getting up like 4 times in the middle of the night to drink water because I drink a lot of water in the middle of the night. Yeah. I think I'm dehydrated all day and I just drink it at night. It's very confusing.
Dehydrated all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inside joke.
But I really liked them.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to because I was like, these feel so fake. But I like how I like how it is. But the thing that sucks is I already made my scores up ahead of time. Yeah. And they're the same as yours, and that's not fun. I had an 8 for that as well.
That's okay. If you have the same scores, no problem.
I mean, the only reason I wouldn't rate it higher is just, like, it felt really salty and, like, kind of fake. But I liked it. It was a real, like, push and pull situation, I guess.
And, guys, next week, we're doing corn. Off the cob from KFC. Is there any other place to get it?
No, we have to think a little bit more about it.
There was a place when I was a kid called what was that place called?
Where was it?
Pudgy's. It was like a KFC.
Pudgy's. I mean, that sounds like a place every woman wants to eat.
Hi, honey. I'm going to Pudgy's. Oh my god,
I love Pudgy's.
Nothing gets me in the mood to fuck my husband like Pudgy's. Sorry. I'm a good person. That was wrong. Okay, Jesse. Okay, so we did that. Mashed potatoes, Applebee's, Uno's. There you go. There are the scores.
But in general, they both were really good. I gotta say,
yes, they
really were. And as not a mashed potato person,
but that might be more on Shay.
No. I it's never gonna be my side dish of choice.
Mm. Well, who's your side of choice?
Steamed broccoli.
Next week we do steamed broccoli. That one was good. But the steam wasn't where I wanted it. Okay, Jesse, best thing you ate this week?
Best thing I ate this week was the pizza we had last night.
I agree.
From Brick and Dough.
Totally agree.
Brick and Dough is a new restaurant in Montclair. It came from Jersey City, Hoboken. I guess they didn't succeed there, but they're succeeding in Montclair. And it
was very good.
It was really good. I like chewy pizza. It was chewy pizza.
And next I'm going to get you to get Chinese food with me.
All right, we can do a whole Patreon episode on Chinese food.
Oh, let's go. I did like the pizza. I thought it was great. I'm mad at myself. I don't think I took any pictures.
I don't think either of us did.
For social media, because I want to get followers. I don't think I did that. But it was very good. It was excellent. I love the pesto pizza. It was good. It was very nice.
I like that you're into pesto-based pizza because
very much.
I've always liked that, but I feel like you've come around to it recently.
No. I've always been there. You just didn't know that side of me.
When I'm like, do you want to get pesto pizza? You're like, no, I went with red sauce.
No.
Okay.
I'm okay with red, white, green. I like it all, baby.
Yeah, no, it was excellent. And they're not even fully open yet.
Really?
No. That's just like, I think they're still in a soft open phase.
I don't know about you, but I felt very hard.
I don't know.
Mike Delivers Podcast, episode 124. We're talking pizza. We're talking side dishes. We're talking mashed potatoes. Hey, if you like some of this, don't forget to go to the Mike Delivers Patreon page. $4 a month. You get more of this content, videos, food reviews, blind taste tests, all of the gimmicks. All of it's there. And also, you get a little sneak peek at what my cat looks like. Leon, the kitty cat. He's awesome. He's the man. Jesse, always have fun doing this on a Sunday night. This will come out on Thursday. The election is on Tuesday. And it's nice talking side dishes. Next week, we'll be doing corn on the cob off the cob. Well, I don't know.
We'll figure something out. Don't.
Anyway, Jess, always have fun. Thanks for joining the Mike Delivers Podcast.
Let's eat some dinner.